Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Panzer Vor tank tournament from the depths. I am Chromoid and this is episode 8, part 1 of the finale of the tournament. Up first we have once again Delta Force's first anti-tank legion with 5 Titan tank destroyers. They will be facing off against the Bullies by Skullsploder, containing 2 Scalpel MBTs, 2 Dagger MTs, and 1 Cleaver SPG. Panzer Vor. Alright, who's going to shoot first here? Looks like the Bullies are getting shots off first. There's some blocks falling off the Titans. The Titans are a little slower to fire, as always. But once they get those guns going, and there they go, rocking back as they fire. Pieces flying off of the... blanked on them. The Titan tank destroyers, yes. Pieces flying off of them everywhere. I didn't see if those shells hit. They do wobble quite a bit when they fire, it seems. Oh, the Cleaver just got a tank destroyer! Oh dear. That's not good. They've never been hurt that badly before. And all of these shells coming out of the Bullies. Ooh! Oh, there goes a CRAM shell. Seems one of them hit the Cleaver to avenge his brother. Although the one that got hit seems to be doing okay. It took the hit and kept going like a champ. Oh dear. Oh dear. That bully won't be doing much bullying anymore. It looks like... yeah, it looks like the Titan tank destroyers are cleaning up right now. There's 1 tank left. The Cleaver is in a bad way. It's been badly hurt. No, there's 2 tanks. I'm sorry. There's a Scalpel left. It's been almost completely cored out. Its turret is useless now, and the Cleaver is left. Nope. Okay, I'm a liar. There's a Dagger. A Dagger, a Cleaver, and a Scalpel are all left. But you could probably scratch that Dagger now. Oh dear. They're firing from very long range. They just don't seem to be able to get close. The recoil kicks them back every time they get near. But they're closing in on their prey now. Yeah, you see already 2 of the team Bullies have been destroyed, and, well, nope. There's one over there. The recoil's kicked it back. It seems the wheels on these are broken for some reason. Not entirely sure why that is. This one's not even firing. It looks like it's been cored. Yeah, no AI left in it. It will despawn soon. There it goes. Farewell, Bully. 2 tanks remaining, essentially. The one at long range has pretty much knocked itself out. This Cleaver seems to be incapacitated in some... Nope, I lied. It fires just to prove me wrong. This Scalpel is taking one heck of a beating, and it's still not going down without a fight. There it goes, sliding forward. It's trying to attack, but it now has nothing left to attack with. The cannons are all screwed. The Titans are doing well. Oh dear, one of them just hoisted the Scalpel. Go to sleep, Scalpel. You've done enough for one day. You don't need to put up with this anymore. Oh, ow. Jeez. And those explosions look really big, but in actuality, they're not knocking a whole lot of blocks off the Scalpel when you think about it. The Scalpels are notoriously... oh, never mind. It looks like they're not that tough. Not against that many CRAM shells. Oh, and the Cleaver's just getting lined up for a kill shot now. Oh. Boom! There it goes. Will it flip over? Almost. These Titans do not mess around. I don't know where the other 3 are. I can only see 2 right now. And, oh, there goes the Cleaver. That's about it. Are there any more tanks? It looks like there's some over here. What are they doing? Are those Titans? I have no idea. Oh, they're hunting down a Dagger, it looks like. There must be a Dagger that got shot out here by recoil. They're going a-hunting, boys. Be very, very quiet. At this point, it's essentially over. The Dagger's the only thing. Nope, now even the Dagger's gone. The Titan makes sure of it by disintegrating its corpse. Oh, well. That's a wrap. Well, my congratulations to Delta Force. You are the winner of this fight. You'll be moving on to the next bracket. My condolences to Skullsploder. Your bullies have been knocked out of this round. See you next time, man. In round 2, we have the Sulfur Squad by Sithfin. This mass of little green tanks bonds together to form one strong unit that can take down almost anything that stands in its way. They will be facing off against the Paper Tanks by Crozeus, another swarm entry. These little guys actually outnumber the Sulfur Squad, but their armor is much weaker. And Panzer Vor. Yeah, as you can see, the Sulfur Squad is not as numerous as they once were. That's because the Paper Tanks are like a fifth of each individual Sulfur's cost. So the Sulfurs only get 5 tanks, and the Paper Tanks get about 10, which is considerably less than they got in the hamster fight, where they had about 20 of these little guys running around. And they're doing their drunken dance once more. A Sulfur member has just been decapitated. That does not bode well for them. Let's see if the others can make up for it. The Paper Tanks don't fire particularly fast. There's just so many of them, it makes it look like they have machine guns. Only one Sulfur despawned so far. And no Paper... Well, it looks like the Paper Tanks on the right over there have taken... Oh, yep, definitely taken some hits. There's an explosion. Their armor is literally made of wood, so it doesn't take much to kill one. But there's so many of them, and another Sulfur just bites the dust, and it seems like there's only 2 left. Oh, make that 1 left. Good night. This poor little guy. I think he and his buddies have taken down 2, maybe 3 of the Paper Tanks, and there's about 7 or 8 very, very mad Paper Tanks left. You kill 1 or 2, the rest, they're like Scotsmen. They get even more angry, more dangerous. I hope that wasn't a racial slur. I always thought that was a good thing about Scotsmen. I probably should shut up now. The Sulfur, I love the Sulfur just backing away. It's nope. Trying to keep that frontal armor, up and facing its opponents and just firing as fast as it can. Oh dear. One of the shells bounced off the ground and up underneath the hull. Well, that's it. It looks like the Paper Tanks are victorious. Well, congratulations to Crozeus. Your Paper Tanks are going to be moving on with a decisive victory. And Sithfin, my condolences, man. Your Sulfur Squad has been knocked out of the tournament. Thank you so much for participating, and I hope to see you again soon. And in round 3, we have once again the Gods of War by Admiral Titan. This team is made up of 4 M983A8 Medusas and 1 M980C4 Devastator. That's a mouthful. They're going to be facing off against the AMM Imperium Mechanized Forces by MMI. This is a team composed of TS-A70 tanks and CDG-25F flak artillery tanks. And Panzer Vor. Look at all these metal monsters facing off against each other. Ooh, the first shots are fired by the Mechanized Imperium... However you say it, that's a lot of words. Mechanized Forces. Oh dear, a flak artillery truck just took a direct hit from one of the gods. None withstand the fist of the gods. Oh my... Oh dear, oh. Oh, it's like a light show over here with bullets on the end. There's a Medusa swooping around to get the backside of one of these tanks. Jeez! Well, the Mechanized Forces can give as good as they got. That explosion was huge, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, as the one that fired that shot is now lifted by its own ammo exploding, and then it's just ripped to shreds. Looks like one, no, not even one remains. The only one remains in the middle there is just surrounded by angry gods of war, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a quick and decisive fight. That was That was honestly terrifying. These tanks are heavy favorites to win this entire tournament. They're just so strong. Congratulations to Admiral Titan. Once again, your gods of war proved victorious in a devastating battle. And condolences to MMI. Your tanks have fought well and fought hard, but they were no match for the gods. See you next time, buddy. For our final round of this episode, we have Team Hippo by the Green Champion. This is composed of 8 termite tanks and 2 halberd tanks. And on the other side, they will be facing the Wilder Kriegers by J.P. Ferrer. This team is composed of 4 Panzer IV tanks and 1 Ostwind Flak Panzer tank. Panzer Vor! Alright, the last round gets underway. That is a lot of tanks on the side of Team Hippo. They must have a much lower RP count, or materials count, than the Wilder Kriegers. This little guy over here is just zooming in for the kill. He's going after... is that the Ostwind? I can't tell from this distance. There's one of the Panzer IVs. No, that's also a Panzer IV. He takes a big chunk out of that Hippo charging him. I see pieces of tanks strewn all over the place, but I can't tell who. It looks like the Panzer IVs are carving up the Hippos. I can't tell who just detonated there. There's a Hippo upside down, another one trying to nudge it out of the way. It seems to be crippled. One on its side, 2 on their sides. The Hippos do this a lot. They tend to flip over and expose their vulnerable underbellies. The Kriegers are just tearing them a new one. And that Flak Panzer right there in the back, that thing is absolutely terrifying. Not that one, the one on the right there. Holy cow, wow, these Kriegers have just torn Team Hippo apart in spite of being outnumbered 2 to 1. That is absolutely terrifying. Are there any more? It looks like there's some over here flipped over on their sides. The Hippos aren't like they're not knocked out. They flipped themselves. And so, of course, they can't really fight back when they're flipped over. This one can. It took a piece out of that Krieger, but the Krieger took more out of it. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Looks like the Krieger's the one who got on the losing end of that battle. The Ostwind is reloading, or at least thinking about reloading and then unloading once again into the side of this unfortunate tank. Or not, maybe. Oh dear, the turret's been cut off. Alright, it won't be loading anything then. Well, this is a much closer battle than I originally thought. It looks like some of these Hippos dodged around behind the Kriegers initially and are now coming back for a strafing pass on the rear. The Ostwind has basically been eliminated because it has no more turret. This Hippo is acting as a distraction for some of the Kriegers, which, I mean, they need to destroy it, but they need to be more focused on the ones that can actually shoot back, not the ones that are flipped on their sides. Oh dear, is that a Hippo? It looks like a Hippo. This Krieger's doing work. 3 Kriegers left, all 3 of them Panzer IVs, and there's still quite a few Hippos left too. This is becoming a war of attrition very quickly. The Kriegers are faster, they fire faster too, it seems. They're more nimble. They can zip around the battlefield, but there's more Hippos on the field than there are of the Kriegers. And they don't seem to have particularly powerful shells, so even when they fire, it only strips a few blocks off. They really need to detonate an ammo cache or hit an autoloader or something and cause a big explosion in their enemy. Or just completely whiff a shot like that at a motionless tank. That works too, Krieger. Keep it up. Yep, 0 for 2 right there. He can't even shoot back. He can't move, and you're still... Yep, 0 for 3. Oh my goodness. Let's make it 4, shall we? Nope. Okay, never mind. If you taunt them enough, it makes them work. Oh, and look at that. You just flipped your enemy back over. How do you feel? And he's too low for you. How do you feel now, Krieger? Look at you giving him a hug. You're just lucky that his turret isn't working anymore. Hear that? He's trying to shoot at somebody else, and this Krieger's just pounding this poor Hippo to pieces. You see what I mean, though? Like, their shells are explosive, certainly, but they aren't that powerful. They're lifting them because they're explosive, but there's not a lot of power, or there'd be more blocks coming off of them. This Krieger can't figure out how it's going to shoot this opponent. It's like I want to shoot, but I can't. It needs to break away. There you go. Come on. Come on. Oh, okay. This is a really long battle compared to most of the ones we've seen recently. Oh dear. The other Krieger got tired of watching his buddy derp around and finished off the opponent for it. Let me handle that, brother. Yes, now we play the football with it. And when we say football, we mean European football, not that nasty American stuff they have. Just a chassis left on this hippo. No gun or anything. All they have to do is aim down and shoot that engine right there. Or the metal, or anything. Oh dear. Or kamikaze, that works too. Slap it with the gun barrel. Give it the... You know what, never mind, we're not going to finish that sentence. And friendly fire. The Kriegers take out their own in their zeal, but it looks like it's just fine. Those are amazingly built little tanks. Well done. And congratulations, JP Ferrer. With that, your Wilder Kriegers are moving on to the finals. And my condolences, Green Champion. Your tanks made it quite far, but in the end, and despite superior numbers, they just were no match for these wild Kriegers. Thank you for participating. I'll see you next time. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your semi-finalists are the Wilder Kriegers by JP Ferrer, the Gods of War by Admiral Titan, the 1st Anti-Tank Legion by Delta Force, and of course the Paper Tanks by Crozius. Go and look at the standings on the thread, and you will see who gets to fight who in the finale. That will be showing in Part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like it if you really did enjoy these battles. It always helps, and it just... I appreciate the recognition, not for me, I just do the voiceovers, but for these guys right here, Magma8520 for having this crazy idea, yeah, just ignore that guy, but Monk Lizard for his epic editing, Crozius for taking the time to record this because God knows my computer wouldn't handle this nicely, and everyone in the forums for supporting and enjoying this, and thank you all so much for watching. Once again, this is Chromoid signing off.